Seeking advice on achieving financial security can be overwhelming. There are many financial gurus telling you how you can follow a few simple steps and become rich, but much of this advice is nonsense. In this video, I'll share a clear and uncomplicated plan that really works. By following this plan, you'll stand a greater chance of getting your finances in order and becoming financially secure. Do you consider yourself financially comfortable? You probably have a job, maybe a car and a home, and financial difficulties therefore seem far away. But no matter how secure you feel now, financial instability might be closer than you think. Imagine losing your job suddenly. Could you pay your bills? Probably not. Financial security can be more fragile than we realize. Consider this scenario. Emily and her husband had a combined yearly income of over $95,000, with minimal debt. Feeling financially stable, they took out a large mortgage on their house. But was it really okay? One day, Emily lost her $45,000 per year job, and they faced the threat of losing their home. Just like Emily's situation, unforeseen financial setbacks can quickly put us in a difficult spot. So, what can you do? To prevent unpleasant surprises, take action before it's too late. It's easy to underestimate the need for urgency and believe you can carry on until things go sour. But this approach is irresponsible. Financial challenges can sneak up on you, and before you realize it, you're in trouble. Think of it like the story of the frog in the pot of water. As the water slowly heats up, the frog doesn't notice it's being boiled alive and doesn't jump out. Something similar might be happening to you now. Your financial security could be eroding slowly, and you might not even be aware of it. It's time to make a change. In our modern world, we're constantly told to buy things. But how do we pay for these items? Through the use of credit. Debt has become so normal in our lives that it's hard to imagine living without it. You likely have some debt. But despite its prevalence, debt isn't the road to financial happiness, it leads to financial problems. Consider the common credit card. They seem like free money, offering spending power, but in the long run they can harm our financial strength. Surprisingly, 69% of those filing for bankruptcy blame their credit card debt, according to the American Bankruptcy Institute. Ironically, while many use debt to seem wealthy, truly prosperous people usually steer clear of it. In fact, 75% of those on the Forbes 400 list believe staying debt-free is the best way to build wealth. If these individuals and companies can achieve success without debt, can't we do the same? We've learned that trying to buy our way to financial security with credit isn't the right path. So, what should we do? You should begin by creating a plan to achieve financial strength. Even though you know you need to change your financial approach, you can't change everything all at once. It's better to proceed slowly, one small step at a time. Imagine if you had to eat an elephant. You wouldn't attempt it all at once. You'd start with a small portion, maybe a foot, and gradually work your way through the trunk and body, eating bit by bit. Apply the same principle to your finances. If you try to tackle various areas simultaneously, your efforts will be spread thin, and you'll likely fail. So, take it slow and address one thing at a time. But where should you start? The first step in your journey toward financial stability is to establish a starter emergency fund, a savings of $1,000 set aside for unexpected rainy days. While $1,000 might not cover everything, it's a good start and will reduce the need to go into debt. Remember, this fund is reserved for true emergencies, and if you have to use it, you should replenish it as soon as possible. Once you've got your initial emergency fund in place, you're on your way to improving your finances. Now it's time to tackle your debts. Just like rolling a small snowball turns it into a big one, paying off your debts works similarly. Here's how it works. First, list all your debts, starting with the smallest. Get serious about paying them off, beginning with the smallest ones. As you clear the smaller debts, you'll gain the motivation to deal with the larger, more challenging ones. Your aim is to grow your emergency fund to cover your expenses for 3 to 6 months. As you succeed in building a larger emergency fund, it will boost your confidence on the journey to financial freedom. If you need to dip into your savings or retirement funds, having a robust emergency fund will cover your expenses for up to 6 months. This security allows you to move forward in life with peace of mind. Many of us worry about our financial situation during retirement. We often wonder if we'll have enough money to enjoy our golden years. To have a dignified and secure retirement, it's recommended that you invest 15% of your income. While this may seem like a lot, there are compelling reasons to set aside this amount. Firstly, relying solely on others for a comfortable retirement isn't much fun, especially if you're counting on government pension plans. By the time you reach retirement age, government support for a comfortable life is uncertain. It might be tempting to save less for retirement in favor of other financial goals like your children's college fund or paying off your mortgage quickly. But your kids' education won't provide for your retirement, and many retirees own their homes but lack disposable income. Once you commit to saving 15% of your income, where should you invest it? I recommend mutual funds for the best returns. Historically, the stock market has averaged nearly 12% in returns, and mutual funds take advantage of this trend, making them an excellent choice for long-term investments. Look for funds with a strong track record, ideally over 10 years, and diversify your investments across various funds for profitability. Here's a good rule to follow. Allocate 25% to growth and income funds, 25% to equity funds, 25% to international funds, and the remaining 25% to aggressive funds, which carry more risk but can offer higher returns. Almost every parent dreams of sending their child to college, and some are even willing to accumulate debt to make this dream come true. But as we've discussed, debt is something to avoid at all costs, especially for funding college. Taking out a college loan can burden your child for a very long time. The current generation of students is often referred to as the Generation Debt because they graduate with an average of $25,000 to $27,000 in debt, and this debt can stick around for quite a while. So, how can you afford college? One way is to secure a scholarship or save up enough money to cover the costs in cash. But there's another option: using an education savings account and investing in a growth stock mutual fund. For example, if you invest $2,000 annually in a prepaid tuition plan from your child's birth until their 18th birthday, you'd have $72,000 for tuition. But if you opt for an ESA funded by mutual funds, which typically yield around 12%, you'd have $126,000 to cover education and living expenses. Plus, if you use this account for educational costs, the money is tax-free. Yet even with this option, you should consider if a college degree is the right investment for your child. If doing so means accumulating debt, then perhaps not. How long have you been making mortgage payments? They often take many years to finally pay off. For most people, this is the last hurdle on their path to financial health, and it means being entirely free from debt. But there are common mistakes that can stop you from paying off your mortgage early, and it's your job to avoid them. For instance, you might hear advice to borrow money against your home, capitalizing on low interest rates and investing it in the stock market. But this advice can be risky. Let's say you borrow $100,000 against your home at 8% interest and invest it in stocks with a 12% return. In this scenario, you could make $12,000 in profit. After paying the mortgage interest, let's say $8,000, you'd have $4,000 left over. But this doesn't consider taxes and fees, leaving you with only about $1,000. It might not be worth the significant risk. Another misconception is that you can take out a 30-year mortgage with the intention of paying it off in 15 years. But unexpected expenses like high heating bills or medical bills often derail these plans. Very few people, unless legally obligated, make the extra payments necessary to pay off a loan that quickly. In many cases, it's better to simply take a shorter mortgage out anyway. Compared to a 30-year mortgage at 7%, a 15-year mortgage can save you $150,000 over its duration. Just imagine what you could do with that kind of money. You're now at the edge of financial health, with just one more step to go. Once you're free from debt and have started saving for your future, it's time to begin building your wealth. Surround yourself with experts like tax advisors and estate planning attorneys who can provide you with sound advice on how to manage your money. No matter what, stick to your plan. As you get older, you might be tempted to react to minor market fluctuations, especially if you fear an economic downturn. These small bumps are insignificant compared to the market's long-term growth trend. Remember, being financially fit doesn't mean living like a miser. Enjoy your money when you can. When the right opportunity comes along, be ready to share your wealth. Giving money can be as enjoyable as spending it and often even more fulfilling. It feels great to be generous, but you must have before you can give. Finally, you've completed your journey to financial freedom. Now, it's time to savor it, living comfortably, happily, and securely.